Welcome back everyone to another episode of The Road Chose Me. My name's Dan, and on today's episode I'll be exploring the southwest of Western Australia. And believe it or not, this is Western Australia. Massive trees, beautiful coastline. I thought it was all hot, dry and dusty. Who knew? Anyway, this is where we are. I've driven down from the coastline, come all the way down, spent some days in the big city of Perth, and now I'm coming all the way down to the bottom of Western Australia, the very southern tip. And there's a few personnel changes as well. Katie actually flew back to Canada a couple of nights ago, so she's already back on the east coast of Canada, waiting my arrival once I wrap up here in Australia. And I've met up with Josh in the big Troopie that we haven't seen since we were way up in Cape York when we drove the telegraph track. So we said goodbye to Josh a few months ago. We were way up here in the very northeast of the continent. Now we've caught up and we're hanging out again. We are as far away as you could possibly be from where we saw each other last time. You saw the video last time, you know what trouble we got into. Let's see what trouble we can get into today. Let's go for it, the southwest of Western Australia. We start out just exploring for the sake of exploring, and we even head down a track that Josh has never checked out before. This is a lot of fun venturing into the unknown. There's no doubt that big turbo diesel sounds incredible, and it makes the Jeep sound like a passenger car in comparison. Now that I've got him, he's a bit docile. Oh yeah, he'll be able to chop that probably.
Oh yeah. He's grabbed it. He's grabbed it on both hands.
He's grabbed it, but he's not really fighting.
No.
Ah, we'll let him go. There you go, buddy. You're all good.
It's pretty far from the ocean.
Yeah. So here we are guys, you just saw us setting up camp. This is the incredible spot that Josh has found for us for the night. And the weather's not quite cooperating, it might blow in a little bit. So we've got the awnings all set up. You can see mine here on the side of the Jeep. I'll roll the swag out down here later. Josh has got his big awning that goes over the top of mine, plus his rooftop tent. The best awning, says Josh. It's the Big Bush Company awning, which is almost indestructible. And then this is our campsite. As we go down towards the beach, I tell you what, they do not get much better than this. Josh found us this spot, we're out of the wind. We even have sunset kicking on back there. This is absolutely beautiful. We're just gonna discuss who's gonna cook dinner, roll out the swag, maybe have a campfire. I like this, this is really nice.
We pack up in the pouring rain, and we're eager to try and get away from it. Of course, we're both being a bit lazy with our tyre pressures, and on one of the softer dunes, I stop for a photo and then actually get stuck. It's kind of the first time the Jeep has been legitimately stuck, and try as I might, I can't get it out. Obviously I could lower the tyre pressures, but we don't want to deal with that in the rain. So Josh gets out a kinetic recovery rope. Here in Australia they're usually called snatch straps, and then pulls me along together up the big incline. It works really well, and the big V8 has no trouble at all dragging what is essentially a very light Jeep.
So we've been on the move for quite a while this morning. Josh has brought us to a bunch of different beaches, a bunch of different places to check out. The rain will not leave us alone, which is a bit of a downer, but have a look at this beach we're on now. Josh has brought us to Shelley Beach. The color of the water here is insane. White sand, all of that. As we drove in here, I actually said this is equally as beautiful as anywhere I've been in all of Australia. So absolutely breathtaking. We're thinking about having some lunch. The weather says maybe it's going to clear up a bit. And then we're going to drive around to Cape Howe, which I think is kind of over there in the far distance. So things should continue to be beautiful. Fingers crossed the sun will come out for us. In the meantime, we're just trying to get not too much mud on the vehicles. This thing's got to be clean for the Perth four-wheel drive show coming up nice and soon here. So let's keep exploring, see what we find on this stunning coastline.
I probably should have done this a while ago, but better late than never.
All right, so here we are, guys. We're heading into what Josh says is the really soft sand. So we learned our lesson earlier in the day. We were being a bit lazy. This time we've actually aired down. I went down them at 14 PSI in the front, and this is 16 PSI in the rear. And you can see there's quite a bit of sidewall bulge there. And you can see my all-terrains, they still have quite a fair bit of tread left after 50,000 kilometers. That's like 32,000 miles or something. But coming over here, Josh has made an upgrade to the Troopie since I saw him last in Queensland. He has a brand new set of Yokohama Geolander mud terrain tyres. So these are basically the big brother of the X80s that I'm running. And so you can just see straight away these tread blocks are huge and aggressive. And of course these are 35s as well, so they're just massively bigger tyres. And actually, Josh here is down at 10 PSI. He loves running that low in the really soft sand. And although they look like beadlocks, they are not actually beadlocks. They just look cool. But yeah, Josh is running 10 PSI on the Geolander mud terrains, and I'm running 16 PSI on the all terrains. Let's see how soft this sand gets. Let's see how we go. This should be a lot of fun. I tell you what, a little bit of local knowledge goes a long way. Have a look where Josh has brought us. This is like its own little private campsite right here above its own little private beach. This is utterly incredible. We just came down that four-wheel drive track. Josh was saying there was nothing but animal tracks in front of him. No one's been down here in a long time. And now we just wander down. The color of the water is mind-blowing. This coastline easily as good as anything I've ever seen in Australia. And no one's here. What an amazing place. So here it is, time for lunch. Josh has brought us to another mind-blowing spot. And again, you could camp down here if you wanted to. We're kind of up on this rock. Incredible views out over the ocean. Like this is as good as it gets anywhere in the world, I think. And so lunch is on the go over here. Both of us are actually having ham, cheese, tomato toasties. I'm gonna have a hot drink. We're just gonna hang out here and enjoy this paradise. Then we'll get back on the trails and see what comes next.
There we go, we found a bit of a mud pit. Should keep things interesting. Josh is obviously going to go first, because that's what Josh does. Let's see what happens. So Josh has taken a lot of weight off the roof of the Troopie, and you can see it's much less inclined to lift a front wheel, which is excellent. He still has a lot of other things he wants to change, but it's already a lot better. Although it still does lift a wheel, and here we get a perfect demonstration of how useful a front locker is. Without the locker in, he can't quite move forward. All he needs to do is turn it on, and then the thing is unstoppable as it climbs forward and up. I always go for the slow and steady approach, and after watching Josh, I just put both front and rear locker in before I even begin and have no trouble at all, just crawling up at no speed in low range first. We drive down these rocks to a spot that is absolutely ideal for fishing or even camping. We hang out for a couple of hours, just chatting and catching up before we realise the day is getting on, and so we get moving to find an even better campsite. Check out how much these mud terrain sidewalls deform when they're down at 10 psi. That's crazy.
So here we go, everyone. This is where we've decided to camp for the night. After a really fun day out on the trails, Josh has got his rooftop tent up. That looks particularly epic. I just put the awning out. I'm gonna put the swag up a little bit later. And I think actually I'm on dinner tonight, and I'm gonna cook one of my favorite all-time meals. I call it Monday Night Special, and it's kind of like masala on rice, but it's one of my all-time favorites that I've cooked since forever. But Katie doesn't really like it, so I haven't actually cooked it in a long time. But as soon as Katie left, yay, Dan can cook his favorite meal. So Dan's on dinner duty. In the meantime, look at this beautiful beach. Look at the sunset. We are in for a treat tonight. I don't really want to be anywhere else. This is as good as it gets, and it's so good to travel with a local who can show you these kinds of places. Utterly breathtaking. So here we go, guys. It is finally dinner time. Josh and I are both pretty excited about that. And so over here, I cooked up a beef masala on rice. So tomato, corn, tin of beans, some beef, and then there's rice underneath. And over on the fire, Josh has cooked us a damper. And it's taken a while because we don't have the world's greatest fire here. But he's just about to open it up again and see and have a look.
Getting there.
Oh, it's getting there. Still a bit doughy. A little bit more and then we're good to go is the word on the damper, but I'm pretty sure we're about to get stuck into this masala. Good morning everyone, and what an incredible morning it is. The sun has come out and so we were able to enjoy our campsite a lot more this morning than yesterday when it was pouring rain. And Josh had to head off early this morning. He's got a ton of stuff to organise. So I'm here all by my lonesome now. Feels pretty strange to be travelling by myself again. It feels very much like most of Africa and all of the Pan-American Highway, and bringing back a lot of feelings that are, you know, really difficult to deal with, and it's hard to sort of feel lonely or feel alone. But I think it's probably going to be good for me, and it'll keep me focused on, you know, what's important in life and sharing life with someone else. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've enjoyed seeing what this part of Western Australia looks like. I had no idea that you can get to huge trees, rugged coastline, lots of greenery. I just assumed Western Australia was always hot, dry, dusty, but it isn't. Proof is right behind me. So thanks again for watching. Have fun out there, and maybe I'll bump into you on the road.